So I wanted to give you a brief video on how you can take data from AntConc and then import it into a spreadsheet software like Microsoft Excel so that you can further work with it, maybe further classify and code it for your own content analysis purposes. I just have a sample of text open right up here in AntConc, and what I've done is I've subjected this sample to the word list of hedges and boosters. And as you can see here, I've got 44 different hedges and boosters represented in here, beginning with 199 instances of will, going all the way down to one instance of considerable. So these just give me the raw frequencies, but what if I want to actually codify some of these specific examples? So for example, what if I really want to look at these 39 examples of May? Well, remember that everything in AntConc is hyperlinked. So if I go ahead and click on May, it's going to flip me over to those 39 instances, and you can see here I'm in the Concordance tab. And all I have to do to get this data into Excel is do File, and then I'm going to go ahead and save Output. And the default's always going to be AntConc results, but I just might keep this stuff separate, and so I might say May results. And then I'm going to go over here to Excel, and I'm going to go to Open. And what I want to make sure to do down here is that I have all files selected. The default might be Excel files, but if I click all files, what it'll allow me to do is insert text files. And so I'm going to go here to my May results, click Open, and Excel is now going to ask me a series of different tasks. And basically what it's saying is, how do you want the data distributed? I always say that when in doubt, take the defaults of Excel. What essentially this is saying is that it's going to look for every time there's a tab, and it's going to put that data in a new column, which means it's going to take the context to the left of the source word in one column. It's going to put all of the source word stuff in one column in the middle, and then to the right is going to be that column which tells me which text it came from. So I'm going to go ahead and click Finish because those defaults are fine with me. And what it's going to do is it's going to generate that data for me. And you can see here that it has all 39 instances of May, and you can see here that I've got the context here. If I wanted to stretch that out, it's got the May source word here, and then it's got the text that it came from. And from here, I can go ahead and insert column, and I can label things. So if I wanted to call this hit number, I wanted to call this context, if I wanted to call this hedge, I wanted to call this the text that it came from, and let's say that I want to further classify it. I can type in a header for classification, go ahead and style this, and then I can see here that most of these instances of May are a hedge, and they are used to convey caution. So I might just type in the word caution here and go ahead and copy and paste that all the way down so that all of my instances of May are already coded by caution. But I've got some more work to do, and so I'll go back into AntConc here, and I'll click back over to my word list, and let's say I'm moving my way down the list, and now I want to get all of my instances of approximately. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that, and you'll see that there's 4 hits there, and here's all 4 of my hits here. And so what I'm going to do is the same thing that I did with May. I'm going to go ahead and save the results, and I'll call these approx results. And you can do one of 2 things here. You can create a new worksheet and go ahead and bring in these approximate results. And sometimes it's nice to have your data organized like that. But you might also want to drag this into your master spreadsheet. So I'm just going to copy this material stuff here, and I'm going to move down here. And you can see here that I've got my context, but now I've got the word approximately. But approximately does something different. It has a different function. It's generally used to generalize information. So I want to make sure now that I update that to general. And so now I've been able to drag in 2 different instances of hedging in there, and you can see that my data is starting to get complex. And now my data set's starting to grow, so I want to make sure that I freeze that top row so that as I scroll down, I've got some classification. So you can continue to do this on and continue to further codify your Excel spreadsheets. And the nice thing about all of this then is that when it comes time to look at, for example, pivot tables, you've got all of your data in one set. And if you were looking just, for example, for classification, you've got things like caution and generalize, and you can then drag those to values and you can begin to see how your specific data begins to stack up. So this is just a simple way of taking data from AntConc, moving it into Excel, and making sure that you can analyze it.